You hear cryptocurrency, and what's the first thing that comes to mind? Probably crazy stories about making a fortune overnight, or losing it just as fast, right? You're not alone. But today, we're going to look at a totally different side of crypto, a much calmer, more systematic way to approach it. It's called staking. So yeah, let's get right into it.
So here's the plan. First, we're going to ditch that whole crypto casino idea and figure out what staking actually is and why it's a pretty big deal. Then, we'll get super practical. We'll talk about a smart way to set up your portfolio. And we'll wrap up with the one rule of crypto security you absolutely cannot forget.
All right, so first up, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The biggest problem crypto has is its reputation, The idea that it's all just a big stressful guessing game. We're going to talk about how to move past that and into a real strategy.
I mean, this is the question, right? Is cryptocurrency just a high-stakes casino? And you know what? The world of active trading, trying to time the market, guess which way prices are going to swing, it absolutely can feel like that. It's stressful, it's intense, and honestly, for most people, it's a losing game. But what if there's another way to play? A totally different game?
And this right here, this chart just lays it all out. On one side, you've got the chaos of active trading. It's all about guessing, high stress, and let's be real, the very real possibility of losing your money fast. It's a short-term game. But then, look at the other side, staking. It's not about guessing, it's about participating. It's calm, it's systematic, it's built for the long haul, and designed to create a regular, predictable income. I mean, we're talking about two completely different worlds here.
Okay, so that's the big picture. But what is staking? Like, really? How do you get your coins to actually do some work for you, instead of just, sitting in a wallet hoping the price goes up? Well, the tech behind it is called proof of stake. Now, you've probably heard of Bitcoin's proof of work. That's the one with all the supercomputers solving puzzles. Proof of stake is different. It's not about computing power. It's about, well, having a stake in the game. Think of it like this. You're not just a gambler. You're more like a shareholder helping to run the company. Because you've invested, you're trusted to help keep things running smoothly, like approving transactions. And for doing that work, the network pays you. It's kind of like a dividend.
And the actual process? It's honestly so simple. Step 1, you hold the coins. Step 2, those coins are basically put to work helping to secure the whole network. And step 3, you get paid for it. You earn rewards. That's it. No staring at charts, no complicated trades. It just works for you in the background.
The source material for this explainer summed it up perfectly with this one simple idea. Coins work while you hold them. Just let that sink in. It's the best way to think about staking. Your assets aren't just sitting there doing nothing. They are actively participating, actively generating an income. They are literally working for you 24/7.
Okay, that's cool for us. But how does this all fit into the bigger picture? Why is staking so essential? See, it's not just about earning some extra coins. It's actually fundamental to the survival of a lot of these crypto networks.
It really is a true win-win situation. The network gets what it needs to live and breathe. Security, a way to verify transactions. I mean, without people staking, a lot of these blockchains just wouldn't work, period. And what do you get in return? A systematic, regular income stream. It's this beautiful, symbiotic relationship where everyone's interests are aligned. What's good for the network is good for you, and vice versa.
All right, now let's get really practical. How can you actually use this? We're going to talk about a smart, hybrid strategy that can dramatically lower your risk, which is especially huge if you're just starting out.
So here's the strategy, and it's brilliant in its simplicity. You take your man capital, the money you absolutely can't afford to lose, and you put it into staking. That becomes your solid foundation, and it's generating an income for you. Then you can take a tiny, separate amount, maybe even just the interest you're earning from staking, and use that for more speculative trading, if that's your thing. This one simple move completely changes the psychology of the game.
Let's put some numbers on this to make it real. Imagine you've got, say, $2,000. Instead of just YOLOing it all into some risky trade, you put the lion's share, like 95% of it, into staking, where it's safe and earning you rewards. Then you take that leftover 5%, $100, and that's your trading money. See? Your main funds are protected, and all that pressure to win, it just melts away.
And that brings us right to this amazing insight from our source material: trading on interest is much calmer. It's so true. When you're trading with what feels like house money, the profits your staking is generating, it's a whole different ballgame. That fear and greed that drives so many bad decisions, it's way, way less intense. It lets you think clearly and, yeah, be a lot calmer.
Okay, so you've got the strategy locked down. Awesome. But what do you actually stake? Do you just pick one coin and go all in? No way. Let's talk about why building a smart, diversified staking portfolio is your new best friend. Look, putting all your eggs in one basket is risky, whether it's stocks or crypto. It's the same principle. Building a portfolio is just smart. It lets you spread out your risk because every network is different. It helps you capture growth from a mix of big, established projects and new, promising ones. And it lets you balance everything out, combining projects with moderate rewards and some with higher ones. It's just smart investing 101.
So, what kind of portfolio is right for you? Well, you can kind of break it down into three main approaches. If you're just starting out, you probably want to stick to the conservative path. Focus on the big, stable networks. The goal here is just to preserve your capital and get a steady income. Most people will probably land somewhere in the balanced category, mixing those reliable players with some promising newcomers for growth. And then you've got the aggressive strategy. This means chasing high rewards from newer, riskier projects. Honestly, that's really for experienced folks who know exactly what they're getting into.
Okay, we've talked about the what, the why, and the how. Now for what is, without a doubt, the most important piece of the puzzle: security. This last section is all about taking true control and ownership of your assets. And this right here is a distinction you have to understand. When your crypto is sitting on an exchange, you're just trusting them. You don't actually control the keys. They do. And that means they can freeze your account. But when you move it to your own wallet, you become your own bank. You have total direct control. Nobody can touch your funds. Getting this difference is non-negotiable in crypto.
Now, if you're a beginner and you're looking for a place to start, something like Trust Wallet is a really popular choice. It gives you that full control we were just talking about, it has staking features built right in, and it's pretty easy to use. But, and this is a huge but, please look at that last point in bold. When you set up a wallet, it's going to give you a secret backup phrase, usually 12 or 24 words. This is the master key to everything. You need to write it down, store it somewhere safe offline, like not on your computer, and you never, ever, ever share it with anyone. Seriously.
If you forget everything else we've talked about today, just remember this one thing. It's the mantra of crypto. Not your keys, not your coins. It's the golden rule. If you don't control the private keys, you don't really own your crypto. It's that simple and that important.
So let's wrap this all up. What's the big takeaway? Staking is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not about hitting the lottery. It's a system for building your capital over time, for taking the stress out of crypto, and for actually participating in what could be the future of finance. At the end of the day, it's a choice, isn't it? On one hand, you have the frantic, high-stakes casino of futures and day trading, and on the other, you have the quiet, steady, systematic approach of staking. You know, they say real money loves silence. So the only real question left is, are you ready to stop gambling and start building your foundation?